I just asked you how you were if you were wondering. I am Lauren, and I am going to talk to you about intercultural communications and why the barriers between different cultures should be broken. I, speaking from example, knew nothing about South America really. But then my brother moved there and lived there and then got married to a South American woman, and now I have a niece and a nephew who are South American, and it's something that you definitely need to learn about, especially whenever it's in your lives, which technically it's in everybody's lives. I think there's a couple things that come with being of different cultures and speaking to someone of a different culture. One would definitely be respect. It's really hard for some people to respect people who are not the same as them. And it's sad because it's real. I know a little bit of sign language, and I enjoy learning about the deaf culture and such, and I'm surrounded by it every day. Since I live in Austin, there's the Texas School of Deaf, and so people all around you are going to be deaf in my sense, but in my sense, everyone's going to be different. The biggest thing for me is that I think everyone deserves to feel like they have a place in this world, even if it isn't the place where they were born or the place where everybody's just like them. Which comes to my second belief, I guess. Not only should you respect them, but you should learn from them. You should let it be a lesson. You should let it teach you something, make you become more, and help them become more, and, feed off of each other. Not crazy sounding sense. Another thing that is really cool to me, that in 2016 the United States Census Bureau, the code list went up from 382 to 1,333. There are over 7,000 known languages in the world. Though language is not necessarily all of what culture means, it is a huge barrier that people typically don't cross, because there's learning involved, and there's time and effort, and though it might be hard, it's a much, much needed learning experience that people need. Not only would this benefit them, because you'd be able to speak to them and help them in whatever ways, it could also affect you in a positive way. Lots of people who are bilingual or translators are making more money in certain jobs in a lot of areas than people who are just your common day secretary making $13.17 versus your bilingual making $13.42, or your bilingual customer service rep who makes $14.26 versus your regular making $13.47, according to payscale.com. That sounds very small, but of course there are bigger and better jobs in the world, I guess, that would pay you a lot to be able to communicate with people of different cultures that may need you to communicate with people on the other side of the world, or work with them in general, or negotiate with them, etc. Which leads to the Association for Talent Development. At td.org, I found this really interesting piece called The Importance of Intercultural Communications Training to the Global Workforce. I found it interesting because it defines what intercultural communication is, and it gives you different steps to remove barriers, and gives you different steps for negotiation skills. It gives you different ways to look upon becoming aware of intercultural differences and co-cultures, and just how to make that line not so thick. Inevitably, I believe, and I hope that most people believe, that you should try to make everyone around you feel comfortable, because that's what you would want to do. And what better to live by than the golden rule? Treat others as you would like to be treated.